If you're a video editor, I'm sure you face software insecurity. The crossroads where you ask yourself, am I using the right software? Or is the grass maybe greener on the other side? And well, it depends, because the best video editing software isn't the one with the most features or the fanciest updates. It's the one that fits your unique workflow. So in this video, we're breaking down the 4 major video editing softwares in 2025. Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, and CapCut, and discussing who they're really built for, what they do well, and where they may slow you down. And ultimately, which one is right for you. Let's start with Final Cut Pro, arguably the most controversial editing software on this list. Most video editors either absolutely love it or cannot stand it. Final Cut shines in one primary area though: speed. If your job is to cut through high volumes of content like YouTube videos, news reports, or fast client turnarounds, Final Cut's a machine. But it's polarizing because of features like the magnetic timeline. While some editors will love how clips in their timeline snap together without any gaps, others may feel boxed in compared to the traditional track-based editing workflow. It's also locked behind Apple's walled garden, which is another mixed bag. Because if you aren't already in the ecosystem, switching to Final Cut Pro would not only be uprooting your workflow, but potentially all of your hardware too. But if you're already ingrained into the Apple ecosystem, Final Cut feels like home. It's fully optimized for Mac hardware and will give you one of the smoothest editing experiences you can get from this list. Next is Premiere Pro, which isn't just a video editing software. It's a hub of everything you could ever need. The Adobe Creative Cloud has something for every kind of workflow. After Effects for motion graphics, Audition for audio cleanup, Photoshop for design assets, and more. And Premiere Pro is the glue that ties all of that together. The Creative Cloud comes with deep integrations, dynamic linking, and project files that speak natively across different apps. But that flexibility comes at a cost. Literally. But also, Premiere demands performance, and depending on your hardware, stability has historically been hit or miss. That said, if you're working in a client environment where projects move between departments, Premiere is hard to beat. With features like project locking and team projects that let multiple editors work together on the same project, this is the software for editors who do a little bit of everything and need a workflow that connects at every stage of production. Now let's talk about DaVinci Resolve. Resolve started as the industry standard for color grading and still leads the pack there. If color accuracy, HDR workflows, or cinematic looks matter most to you, Resolve is unmatched. What Resolve doesn't get enough credit for though is just how good it can be outside of a color grading workflow. You can cut, composite, do VFX, mix audio, and color all in one piece of software for free. So if you're a video editor that wants pro level tools but doesn't want to pay a monthly subscription, Resolve might be for you. However, the trade-off to that is the learning curve. Resolve is dense and it takes longer to master than most other software. If you're the type of editor who wants maximum power in one place and you're willing to invest your time into learning, Resolve can eventually replace your entire editing stack. But while we're here, we should also mention Avid Media Composer. Avid is still the industry standard for large film productions and broadcast TV. If you're working on studio features, chances are you're going to encounter. It's rock solid for big teams, with project sharing and bin locking built directly into its DNA. But the trade-off is its flexibility. Avid workflows are usually tied to expensive on-prem storage, which can feel restrictive compared to other modern cloud setups. So while it's not used widely among indie creators or social-first editors, Avid is still one of the biggest names in the professional editing industry. And lastly, there's CapCut. Now, CapCut has exploded in recent years thanks to its deep integrations and optimizations for social-first content. It's free, simple to use, and comes loaded with different templates, effects, and captions. If your workflow is predicated around speed, trends, and pushing out daily content, then CapCut is a game changer. However, if you're a power user, you may feel a little limited by CapCut. You don't get the same granular control over your timeline, audio, or color work that you'd find in Final Cut, Resolve, or Premiere. But that's by design. CapCut isn't built for feature films or long-form projects. It's built for creators who care about publishing fast and efficiently. And for those workflows, it's an incredible tool. So those are the 4 main players. Final Cut is for Mac users who want a blazing fast workflow. Premiere Pro is for multitask editors who want seamless collaborations with different departments. DaVinci Resolve is the powerhouse for someone who isn't afraid to invest a little bit more time. And CapCut is the speed editor for social-first video creators. But here's the thing. Once you start working in teams, the difference between all of these tools matter a lot less than you would think. Because the real bottleneck isn't the software, it's how your team manages files, versions, and collaboration. And if this is what's causing your software insecurity, that's where LucidLink comes in. LucidLink lets editors work from the same files in real time, directly from the cloud, no matter what software they're in. That means no relinking when a project moves between Resolve and Premiere, no duplicate drives when Final Cut and After Effects need the same footage, and no waiting on downloads just to start cutting. So yes, choosing the right video editing software matters, but once you bring in other editors, producers, producers or clients into the mix, the software is just one piece. But LucidLink is the layer that makes them all work together. So what's the best video editing software in 2025? Well, that answer truly depends on you and your workflow. But if you aren't just building around your workflow, the editing software is secondary. The foundation you build it on is what matters. So build it on LucidLink, and make sure you subscribe for more step-by-step guides on how you can make your workflow actually flow.